the whole framing of the movie, kind of the way that it starts is, I'm with this girl who doesn't exist in real life, who dumps me, which has happened in real life a lot. And basically frame it as if the whole reason for making Facebook and building something was because I wanted to get girls or wanted to get into some kind of social institution. And I mean, the reality for people who know me is I've actually been dating the same girl since before I started Facebook, so obviously that's not a part of it. But I think it's such a big disconnect from, I think, the way that people who make movies think about what we do in Silicon Valley, building stuff. Right? Like, they just can't wrap their head around the idea that someone might build something because they like building things.
Psychology courses in college, right?
Yeah, it was actually, yeah.
I want to know what's something that you learned in your psych class that was useful in building things.
Well, yeah. The biggest thing that I took away from the psychology classes that I took were how little we know about how the human brain works. I mean, it's like, I think that our understanding of the brain is kind of like if you opened up a computer and we're like, oh, when you type in this command, this part gets warm. Right, like, so it's interesting. Like, I think, it's like you read these studies where it's like, oh, some guy got a steel rod put through his head and like this function stopped, and it's like, okay, like we understand nothing, right? So there are all these things that people say. I think like AI is a really interesting field, right? And one of the things that's really interesting as technology is getting better is we're able to build computer systems that can help people think, right? So now I think that the best solutions to a large class of problems are ones where humans do the thinking that they're best at, and we can get computers to do the thinking that computers are tuned for, right? In terms of just really kind of large-scale computation, deterministic, linear, things like that. Where was I going with this? So, there's this whole movement in the Valley, right, around, it's like, okay, processors are getting so much faster, right, if we're going to continue going at this rate for just maybe 10 or 20 more years, and we're going to get computers that are smarter than humans, right? And, I don't buy it. And the reason why I don't is not because I don't think computers are going to be as fast as people think. It's because I don't think that we have a good understanding of how the brain works yet. So I think that the human brain is probably orders of magnitude more powerful than we think yet. And it's really interesting to design software that takes into account the things that we do know about the brain and psychology. So, for example, humans are so much more interesting to people than anything else, right? There are whole parts of the brain that are just totally tuned towards processing like emotions. There's a whole part of the visual cortex that's tuned towards processing facial expressions. Right? Like our ability to understand and process someone's face is so much more rich than our ability to look at like a podium and differentiate it from other podiums. Or if you think about it, like the facial expressions that people make are like so micro, but mean such different things depending on if you move your eyebrows a millimeter in one or two directions. And I don't know, I think that that's something that we often overlook in designing products, and that's one of the things that I'm just really interested in with Facebook, is I think people are so interesting to other people. If you can build a product where people can go and learn about the people around them and share information and stay connected with people, then that's something that's super important to people. And I don't know, I guess that's probably the most thing that I took away. But in terms of like real lessons, I mean, I don't know, there's a lot more that we need to learn about the brain.
Okay, well, let's open up to questions, and you can take questions, and if you don't mind repeating them. You can.
Oh, I have to?
Oh, I'll do it. Okay.
I'm happy to. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't want that responsibility.
I'll do it.
So why did I decide to move Facebook from Cambridge to the Valley? So really, it wasn't a conscious thing, right? I mean, it was what I was talking about before.